This is a fantastic question and pretty common, actually. Is cremation a sin or not? Biblically speaking, it's clear that throughout the Bible, burial was the preferred method. Genesis 23, after this, Abraham buried Sarah. Genesis 35, so Rachel died and she was buried. 2 Chronicles 16, they buried him in a tomb that they had cut for him in the city of David. And Matthew 27 talks about how our Messiah was buried after his crucifixion. So all throughout Scripture, it's very clear that burial is the preferred method, and all the people that followed our Father in heaven buried their dead. However, I'd like to submit this. Genesis chapter 3, by the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken, for you are dust, and to dust you shall return. It would seem according to Scripture that turning into dust is part of the death cycle. Now, in burial, this takes a lot longer than cremation, but the end process is the same. There's nothing I could find in the Bible that alludes to cremation being any type of sin. In fact, there are many scenarios one could think of where someone would die by creation, not by choice. For instance, a plane crash, or a fiery car crash, or a burning building. There are many scenarios that people could potentially die that ends up cremating their body. And to say that those people wouldn't be resurrected because of that is not biblical. Because again, to dust we shall return. You'll be resurrected whether you're a pile of dust or a pile of bones. Some people might bring up the fact that throughout history, cremation tends to be a pagan practice. And that is correct. We're told in Deuteronomy 12 not to worship God how the other nations worship their gods. But burial and cremation aren't a practice of worshiping gods. They're simply cultural standards for disposing of a body. At the end of the day, this appears to be a matter of one's convictions. Some people opt for cremation simply because they can't afford the process of a burial. In the United States, the average funeral can cost $7,000 to $20,000 or even more than that. A lot of people cannot afford this. Cremation is a much more cost-effective option for people. I would say that if you can do a burial, it would be the preferred method, like it is biblically. But if you cannot do that, there's no biblical basis to say that it's a sin. I pray that this study has blessed you. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to comment below. Shalom, brothers and sisters.